It's November 5th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. A wonderful overcast Wednesday here in the city of Toronto. It's been rainy. Fall is here. They're alleging snow this weekend, but like less than a centimeter, not a lot. Just like the dusting that you get just to tell you, oh, it's coming, and you're gonna deal with it. Jeremy Lambert's here. He's coming. He's gonna believe in it. How you doing, pal?
I'm always coming, I guess. We're supposed to get snow next week, so yeah, should be fun.
It's inevitable. Today is a weird day, man. I was not expecting to have my kid stay home today. He's a little under the weather. Tell you what, after I did the Raw review on Monday with SP3. Thank you for coming in for that, because that episode of Raw was what it was. Always coming, always showing up. Yeah. You showed up, and Sean showed up for a few minutes, and we kind of talked about that for a little bit. But afterwards, I'm doing the post notes stuff. So I'm getting the audio, I'm getting the thumbnail ready for the Tuesday episode for you guys, for In the Weeds, and I'm just doing background stuff. And my door's closed to my office, which normally it's not at night, because unless I'm doing a show, I don't need it to be closed because I'm usually listening on headphones. And I'm just kind of like, my door's closed, and all of a sudden, with my one ear open, I hear, I'm like, what the hell is that? My kid, and it's midnight, by the way. It's like 12:30, and my kid is outside my door, my office door. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, my eyes hurt. I'm like, your eyes hurt? That's weird. And he's like rubbing his eyes. I think he just rubbed them too hard. So I put him back to bed, and he goes back to bed. And he goes and he has a regular day at daycare, but he doesn't eat a ton, which is very unlike him, and he's not having a good naps. And then which is like a good nap. He only has one. And he comes home yesterday, and he's just a zombie. Barely eats his dinner. We put him down. He takes a long time to fall asleep. So today we're like, let's let him sleep in. He then proceeds to sleep an extra 2 hours on top of what he would normally do, which, by the way, my kid is he's a sleeper, but he's a early riser like his daddy. So yeah, it was weird. So we decided we'll keep him home today. So as a result, this entire day has been thrown around. Might have a hard out at noon because my amazing, wonderful wife has taken him. You know what? If you're going to have a day off, kid, we're going to get you your COVID booster, and we're going to get you your flu shot. Take what you get, and you don't get upset. So here we are. So that's how today has been.
You should have put him to work when he was outside the door, coughing and everything. Like, hey, you want to interrupt what I'm doing? Get in here and make a thumbnail, set up a show, clip some stuff, put them to work. That's what I do with my kids. They come in here and they try to sit in my chair and everything. And I'm like, you're going to sit here. Then I spin them around and like start typing, start doing something,
Make yourself useful.
Yeah. This is the working chair here. We don't just sit here and do nothing. We gotta get to working around here. But then they got like chocolate all over their hands and stuff. I was like, no, never mind. Let's not mess up the moneymaker here. You're going to get your little fingers with all your sauces and whatnot all into the computer and then break it. And then I gotta buy a new computer. So yeah, then I think better of it afterwards. But if their hands are clean, which isn't very often, if their hands are clean, though, putting their asses to work. No free rides around here.
Gray saying, if you have time to cough, you have time to mop. It's exactly it.
That's right.
That's right. These kids need to learn.
That's right.
Every day is I got a big board, and the big board is days until you're 18, and I can charge you rent legally. That's what I hit every day. The kid wakes up and I say, hey buddy, you see this board? You see this board? One day closer to you owing us.
Did you ever do the
I would never do that, by the way. My parents never did that to me. I would never do that to them.
Oh, we just have that countdown going on in our head. We don't have like a giant board that shows up, but we keep a running track in our head. I'm like, all right, this one turns 18 this time. This one turns 18 this time. It's like, when's the last one out of here? But did you ever do the links? It was just basically you took construction paper and you made a circle and you stapled it together. Yeah. And you like count down to Christmas. You'd like rip them off. And that's typically when we would make them, is like we had 10 links, 20 links, whatever. And so you rip it off for Christmas. I remember always making those in school. Maybe I should make a bunch of links for when the kids are getting out of here.
Our links just say get out now, get out sooner. Why haven't you gone left? You know what? There are some people who pay who help out with rent or mortgage payments to their parents because they're in a different stage of their lives, or they're helping out, and that's understandable. I get it. I personally have never understood you turn 18 and whether you like it or not, you're paying the rent. That's a whole that's something that I've never been a fan of. But again, I'm not going to get into the family dynamics of others because ain't my family.
We're making all these kids pay rent when they turn 18.
They're so going to pay rent when they're 18. I'm gonna charge
every single one of them, or they're getting out of here. The wife is here. She's not buying this one. I'm kicking them all out, and they're all paying rent, or they're getting out of here. We got plenty of boxes. They can live in one of them.
One of them can live in this little Tyke's house you jump off of.
Yeah, they can all live in the little Tyke's house out there. Yeah.
Oh, I was saying, if they're paying rent if they're working at 16. There you go. If you're making your own money, you're paying it back, buddy. Restitutions are back. We're in.
They want to work, and we're like, yes, please, go get jobs, get out of here.
What was your first job?
Make money. My first job was Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Yeah, like my first actual job. I helped my mom at like her work with things, and just she paid me under the table, I guess. I did that throughout like middle school. It was just like sorting papers and whatnot, but I don't really count that. But no, my first job was Chick-fil-A in high school. I worked there for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months or something. It was fine. Like Chick-fil-A, of all the fast food places, like Chick-fil-A is not the worst, I don't think. Like people are relatively understandable. You get Sundays off, which I appreciated as well, because as a football watcher, I was like, good, I don't have to go to work on football day here and watch football with my dad. But yeah, Chick-fil-A was my first job. I think everybody should be forced to work in fast food or retail in their life, so they have to deal with the assholes that come in there, and you get really good life, good or bad, like it could turn out really bad of how you have to deal with people, but it could also be good of like, yeah, this is how people act in the real world. Your little sheltered school life and home life is not what it actually is when you get out there and somebody is mad because the cook put pickles on your Chick-fil-A sandwich and you said no pickles, and I'm like, I apologize that I grabbed the one that said no pickles. I'm sorry that there are pickles on there, and they do not care. They're like, no, this is your fault. And I'm like, it says no pickles on the thing. I'm sorry that there's pickles on it. Like, no, take it back. Take this sandwich back. I do not want it. And then they're throwing a big Hufflepuff at you because they got a sandwich with pickles on it, even though the sticker says no pickles. You learn some life lessons from these people. So I think everybody should be forced to work fast food or retail.
See, so that's the thing. I personally, I could never work in food service because I just wasn't. It just that wasn't for me. But retail, I was totally fine with. Working in sales or working just retail, because I worked. I think I told the story before. My first job was that wasn't like working at the summer camp for kids, like the JCC Sports Summer Camp. Was working at Battery Plus. Shout out to Intertank Canada. You don't exist anymore. You eventually became part of the Bell family. Anyway, I worked for Battery Plus, and I helped that store avoid shutdown for about 3 times in a year. They hired me. I worked my ass off, and they didn't sell just batteries. They were selling like digital cameras and digital photo frames. Remember, those were a big thing, and like cell phone plans and cell phone services. So I was doing that, and like they kept coming back to the store being like, oh, we might close you down, but also your sales numbers are up exponentially, so we have no reason to shut you down. We're like, hell yeah, let's go. So I do think working retail is a huge educational opportunity. It's a big learning opportunity for teenagers, especially, or just anyone who needs to understand the workforce and get get an understanding of what people can be like at their best and their worst. And I've learned over the years to be as nice as I can to these people who work those services, because you're already underpaid, you're already undervalued, you're already underappreciated, and everyone has a day, and whether it's a good or bad day, I try to remind myself, put it aside. They're not affecting your day. They're not the reason you're having a miserable time with whatever. Just say thank you, and that's it. That AEW that you went to when you came to visit.
Sometimes they are the reason.
Listen, to get
they're
pickles
affecting
right?
things.
That's different, but they're not. They may be adding to your problem, Mr. Pickle, but like they're not the reason for the problem. Okay,
not in that scenario, but in some scenarios,
some people are miserable pricks. Yes, some people are miserable pricks.
Like if I hand them a 20 and the food costs, I'm using simple math here. I don't do high level math. If I hand them a 20 and the food costs $5, yeah, sure, I wish. And they hand me back 10, I'm like, wait a second, can you count? What's going on here? I'm owed 15. And they're like, no, you handed me 15, so I gave you 10. Like, no, I handed you a 20. Then it's their fault, because they can't count. They can't do math. The little register screwed up. I'm not saying this has actually happened. I'm using this as an example of sometimes it is that person's fault. And sometimes you do got to take like a hard stance if they're trying to push back on things. I don't like pushing back on things. Yeah, I didn't hand them a $15 bill. All right. I said it was poor math. Look, folks, I wasn't doing difficult math out here. I used change or something. You hand them a quarter and they think it's a nickel, so they give you a little bit less. I was like, no, that's a quarter, not a nickel. And like, no, you handed me a nickel, not a quarter. There, use that example, jerks, in the chat. But it could be their fault. You know what I mean?
It could also be their fault. That's true. So the AEW that you went to when you visited me, and they didn't have the hot dogs. But anyway,
that was bullshit.
That's you should have taken it out on them that time. But I went to I go to that one. I bring my kid there, and sometimes we order food because it's close to our place. The other day I went in to pick up some dinner that I got at the last minute for my wife and I get in there, and the person who's working behind the counter, there's an area where you can go and order, and there's an area where you can go to pick up through mobile app. And I done through the mobile app, which I usually do. I go over and I stand there, and he's like, "Hey, Joel." And I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch." I am like, this is not good that y'all know who I am now. I come there way too often. Now I got to stop. It's not good. I'm still going to keep going. Who am I kidding?
I'm putting Piledriver Finisher in a timeout, saying it was a bad example and it's a worse example. It was a fine example. Piledriver Finisher. You're getting pile driven into timeouts.
Wow, that was good for you. I forgot how we. Oh yes, so my child needs to get a job as soon as possible. Is really the point of all this. Yeah, we hope he'll be fine. He will be fine. He woke up. He was already feeling better. He's got a runny nose, and he's gonna stay home from school and just hang out for the day. He needs a rest day. We all need a day off sometimes. My mother's coming to town tomorrow. So, by the way, I should probably tell you my mom's coming to town. So my productivity may be affected as a result, but we will work on it. It's okay. Regardless, I still plan to be on the shows Friday and Monday. But that's happening. So I got to still clean up this office that I also use as a room for her when she comes. That's going to be a whole other can of worms. But I lose a day because of this, because my kid's at home and I can't properly do things with a 3-year-old running around being a nuisance. And yes, Graze is right, by the way. AEW onion rings are goated. They're very
Did
good.
we get onion rings when we went? I don't feel like we did, unfortunately.
I don't think we did, because they're also really expensive, which is ridiculous.
Everything's expensive nowadays, Joel.
That's true. There was a time when AEW onion rings were like $3, and now they're like $6, and you're like, what are you doing? And they are delicious, so I get it. Zeno Hour saying, get my mom on the show. My mother does not like being on camera, which, like, granted, your mom calls in. You don't want my mom around for this. Trust me.
I think we do.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
She can wear a mask or something. Put the La Parka mask on there. Yeah. Give her the La Parka mask.
That's true. If I tried to give her the Ray mask, she'd see the cross on it and be like, absolutely not. No. Jewish mom will immediately see the cross and be like, "What are you even doing with this?"
just get her off to the side, and she can project a little bit. You know
I
what
mean,
I
I can
mean?
also just
Like,
give her a handheld mic and have her stand off to the side because I do have a
there you
soundboard.
go. Okay, yeah. See, we're troubleshooting this here.
We'll see. We'll see. My mother is not a
Content,
podcast
Joel.
connoisseur.
Think about the content that we're
I'm
creating.
afraid of what comes from that. I'm afraid of what comes from that. I got plenty of content coming for y'all. I gotta do an interview on Sunday. That should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Not here, not live.
You're playing out with your mom, so who cares? Oh, we're gonna talk to Steve Macklin again. Tired of this dude.
Me too, but we're gonna crack it open, baby. We're gonna get all up in there. While we're also getting it all up in there, go ahead, leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. This is what we do 5 days a week on this channel from 10 a.m. Eastern on. So go ahead, leave a thumbs up. Get it. Come on. There it is. Yeah. And also you can subscribe to the channel. We appreciate when you do. The numbers go up and that makes us happy. Our clips are going, our shorts are going, some are popping off, and some of them are, well, they're there. So go watch them. They're entertaining. Okay. It's a breath of fresh air. And you can donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air, which also is very much appreciated. Supports all of our creative types on this channel, which honestly, it's like, there's a few of us. So pay attention. There you go. Thumbs up. Get that. Fireworks.
We have
Jeremy,
a guest today, Joel. Do you want to promote our guest?
Yes. The one and only Doc Gallows is coming in. Talk about the MLW and Don Gato live special that's happening. It's November 20th, isn't it?
Yes.
In Charleston, South Carolina?
It's a Thursday. Yeah, I think it's South Carolina. I don't know if there is a Charleston, North Carolina. I'm sure there is, but
Charleston, shoot. Well, regardless,
South Carolina.
The Good Brothers are coming back to they're coming to MLW to face the Skyscrapers. We had Dijak on last week, so now we're going to get the other side of that match. It's just Doc, as far as I know. I don't think all of a sudden Carl's going to pop on, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, he might. Everyone's always shocked. I told my wife, I was like, yeah, we got Gallows on the show tomorrow. She's like, just Gallows? Like, I thought they were like contractually obligated to do interviews together. That's what we'll ask Gallows is like, does Anderson know you're doing this interview alone? Is this allowed?
That'd actually be a very funny first question. I don't think I've never seen an interview of just Gallows without Anderson. Oh man.
That'll be my first question to Gallows is, are you allowed to be doing this interview by yourself?
It's Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, I thought it was South Carolina.
Yeah. It's on you. I'm just kidding. I got to get my notes. Again, I'm so behind today. You can buy tickets starting at $15, by the way. This is, again, like, I know we have a lot of MLW talent come and join us, but like they continue to have great houses and really just easy to watch shows. I don't want to say they're being slept on because clearly people are going to the shows, but like for $15, ain't many places giving you that opportunity to watch what is effectively like a special or a PLE or a pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, a special event show with like talent that, again, you see them come onto our show, and a lot of them are well known, and a lot of them are just really wonderful people and fun to talk to, great personalities. So if you ain't watching MLW once in a while, what are you waiting for? Get on it. That's where Bishop Dyer and Donovan Dijak come to basically talk about nothing with us for 75 minutes at a time.
Now we accomplished a lot with Bishop. We got a lot of good stories.
That's true. Yeah,
we appreciate MLW. He's always very kind in giving us talent, and we appreciate that on there. MLW does good shows. It's tough to stand out with all the wrestling that is on, and they don't have like a TV deal. It's all on YouTube, but it's easily digestible. It's like 2 hours that you can sit down, run through, and there's some good stuff. There's some not so good stuff. That's any company, but I think they do things for the most part the right way, and that is good to see when it comes to this.
So we're looking forward to welcoming Gallows to the show. 11 a.m. Eastern. It's about a half an hour from now. Going to talk about MLW Don Gato and the match against the Skyscrapers. That's going to be it's going to be a hell of a match. Just 4 big dudes beating the shit out of each other. Oh, sorry, 3 big dudes and Carl Anderson beating the shit out of each other. Carl's not that big. I mean, he's big. He's just not as big as the other 3.
I mean,
comparatively.
Yeah.
Come on, one team is called the Skyscrapers, for Christ's sake. The other one's Doc Gallows. We know how big he is.
MLW does not do weekly YouTube shows. They used to.
Yes.
They used to do like their fusion stuff weekly, and they stopped. And now they do like a live special every other month, and then they do a tape special on the months that isn't a live special. So they basically run one show a month. And again, they're like 2.5 hours. They're easily digestible. There's some good stuff on there. There's talent you've heard of, and I like that they're easy to work with when it comes to just putting guests together. They usually reach out to me. I don't even have to go to them. Like, hey, can we get this person? If I have a request, I will. But otherwise, they message me and they're like, hey, can this person come on your show? I was like, yeah, sure. You know our show exists. Apparently, you like us to some degree to where this is happening. So yeah, bring them on.
They've gotten to a point as well where, again, just putting over MLW, they've gotten to the point where like they're doing very well with their houses, whether they're selling out or coming close to it or selling the tickets that they plan to sell to make a profit, whatever it is, to a point where now they're talking about the potential of doing a weekly show again. And I think that's good news. If you want to keep taking those steps and building your business, then in wrestling, this is one of the ways that you do it. Whether you tape a bunch of matches or if you do something that's live weekly, which is a huge undertaking to begin with, regardless, it's an opportunity that you take when the business kind of gives you that opportunity.
Yeah.
Speaking of opportunities and TV deals, TNA announced theirs yesterday.
No, they didn't. Stop it.
No, it wasn't their. That wasn't their actual TV deal. They announced the one for Latin America and Mexico. They're going to Claro Sports. Good for them. January 1st, 2026. Hey, we have people who are listening in Mexico and in Latin America. We do. I know this for a fact. We do. We're still waiting on the other deal. Maybe they'll announce it tonight during open fight, or tomorrow during open fight night, where people are still asking, what matches are you airing?
Well, it's open fight night. You don't need to advertise matches. You just come out there and you start fighting. That's how it works.
Oh, sorry. The question people are asking is, where can I get tickets to open fight night so I can watch it live if I'm in the city where you're taping it?
No one's actually watching that, or no one's actually asking that. Come on now.
Yeesh.
No one's actually watching that shit.
Anyway,
sorry.
That's just
they got more holding penalties. They were on like the 5-yard line. They were getting really close to getting it in, but bad holding penalty knocked them back. Incomplete pass, offensive pass interference set them back as well. So now they're at like the 30, and it's 3rd down. So they got to make a big play here, and then maybe they go for it on 4th down. Maybe they kick a field goal because they're cowards.
I'm gonna say they might just go for that field goal.
What would the field goal just be, like the Roku app? That's where they get on?
Buddy, every day I'm inching closer and closer to the fact that they should just sell to Billy and they should just become the NWA TNA.
That sounds...
That sounds reasonable.
Does Corgan want them?
I wish I could tell you that, but I don't know. I think Corgan just wants to be profitable, and I don't know what that looks like for the NWA. We can ask Gallows about it because he's worked the NWA.
Picking up TNA isn't the way to do it. Pumping a bunch of money into that. I don't know if TNA's ever been profitable.
No, it's never been profitable. That came out in Carlos's interview a while ago.
Yeah, so why would why would Billy buy TNA if he wants to become profitable?
And so this is the question, like for purchasers of TNA, what do you get? Because you're not getting anything right
Hardys.
now. No, you're not getting anything. You're not getting a ring. You're not getting production equipment. You're not getting a set. You're not getting the wrestlers. You're getting maybe a couple of contracts. Yeah. You're getting like maybe the tape library, which already exists on the app, which isn't really that momentous. It's not huge. Like, what do you get if you're buying TNA? I don't think at any point are you buying it. You're just becoming a principal investor right now. You don't get much.
That's why no one's buying it.
No one's buying. And Anthem's just like, please take this from us.
mean, I hope they get a TV deal. I hope it's actually good, and it's not the Roku channel or Tubi, whatever. No offense to Evolve, but they talked about this TV deal for months, and they said they were hopeful by Bound for Glory, and Bound for Glory was 3 weeks ago, and they haven't done a live show or a taped show since. So I don't have a whole lot of hope for these things.
I have so many theories when it comes to this 1 month off that they're taking, and I don't know what their financials are like right now. Taking a month off seems to indicate not great, but I can't prove anything other than you're just not running shows. This is not a break you normally take. It's very strange.
I got no issue with Tubi. Like, good on Tubi. Tubi seems like it's a fine channel.
I can't even watch it because I can't watch Evolve on Tubi. Tubi Canada doesn't actually carry it.
Get a VPN.
I mean, that's how I would, but I'm just saying if I'm without one, then I don't have the option.
All right. But if you're on Tubi, you're at where you're at with the pecking order. It's not like this is some high level deal if you're on Tubi. I don't know what Tubi's paying for this stuff. Probably nothing. So I don't think you actually like get anything if you're on Tubi. I don't know if Tubi's better than Access.
I mean, it could be like YouTube in terms of just getting a click, a click rate.
Yeah, I don't know if YouTube is good for these companies, though. Like if you,
I think for WWE it's great because they can make separate deals than what would be a traditional YouTube, monetization plan. They can make
WWE. Sure, but WWE's never gonna put like Raw on YouTube.
No, they won't. But again, we're talking about pecking order and established content. There is a difference. My point was with Evolve, if you put it on YouTube and WWE gets them a deal that pays them more than, let's say, Tubi would have, then they would have put it there. So clearly Tubi is either this is about spreading out the content so it's visible on multiple platforms, or it's about money and YouTube wasn't going to give WWE the money that they expected for Evolve that they can then get with Tubi. Like it could be both, but that's kind of where I see it.
Matthew's saying ROH is 100% getting a TV deal before TNA.
They've had offers.
Yeah, what TV deal? Because I think both could get a TV deal tomorrow. That doesn't mean it's a good deal. They could probably end up on Tubi if they wanted to end up on Tubi tomorrow. Like they could end up on Roku channel tomorrow if they wanted to. I think either company wants to end up there, and that's why they're not there. They're trying to hold out for something better. I don't know if either company gets the deal that they want, because if they wanted it, they would have signed it by now. If ROH had a good deal, they would have signed something. If TNA had a good deal, they would have signed something. The fact that they haven't tells me that the deals that they're getting right now aren't great. And I don't begrudge them for like signing some low deal that doesn't actually benefit them, mind you. I don't think they should just like sign the first deal that comes across the table. You want to try to get the best deal for your company, and Roku channel, X, Tubi, whatever, these aren't like great deals. You want to get something better. I just don't know if there's anything better that's out there. I mean, PBR just got picked up by Paramount Plus, so at least they're working with something. TNA might have an in on Paramount Plus, given TKO's business with Paramount Plus. I'm not saying like Paramount Plus actually wants TNA, but I don't think it's super far-fetched. At least just because like they're in business with TKO, and that's a potential avenue for them. I don't think it's gonna happen, mind you. I don't. But it's at least an avenue. The same way ROH on Max is an avenue, but clearly Max doesn't like want that programming. If they did, they would probably go ahead and take that programming. There's just not a ton of avenues out there. TNA's got a better avenue because they're doing business with WWE, and WWE has business with a lot of different networks and platforms, so they have more stuff open. But if you're these networks and platforms, you're like, all right, so I'm getting the fourth WWE brand effectively. This doesn't seem like it's great for me. They're just not going to pay all that much for it.
For the record, we will go wherever we are paid.
Yeah, if Tubi wants to throw money at us, we'll take it.
We'll gladly take it.
I don't have anything against Tubi. I don't watch anything on it outside of Evolve when I catch that show. But otherwise, like, I don't know what else is on that platform. But if someone wants to pay them money to be on there, cool. I just don't think it's a visible platform that these companies want, and that's why they are not going there. That's why it's just Evolve on there. And it's not like you hear a ton about the Evolve viewership or anything. Tubi ain't doing press releases saying WWE Evolve is the most watched show on our platform with 50,000 viewers, and it's all SP3 on just multiple logins.
And we know we're just playing around with the going to Tubi and stuff for us. But again, we would legitimately go to a platform that pays us well. We would have certain we wouldn't go to just anybody. But again, the money would talk. Absolutely, it would have to be the right deal. Going to Riyadh.
I mean, at some point they'll have their own like network that's.
They've invested in networks here, like they have.
Sure
it's almost certain. There's the people behind PFL could easily buy TNA, and there's if you've ever looked at the ownership of PFL, buddy, it's hard not to look at that group and just be like, what do they all have in common? And what's in common is that they're all connected to the Saudis. But like, it's just a huge mishmash of names. PFL is. I'm not going to say it's a money laundering scheme because then I'm going to be then someone's going to take this out of context. So allegedly is what I will use. It's not even alleged. This is me just throwing shit out there. It's just funny to me looking at the list of owners and being like, huh? Them? Like, I saw Kevin Hart next to the Saudis and I was like, now I get it. He's been working with them before the Riyadh Comedy Festival. He's already he's entrenched in that shit. Oh man, yeah, PFL is crazy when it comes to their ownership, to the shows that they have. Well, they offered Francis Ngannou like a ridiculous amount of money, and they did nothing with him. What are we? Come on,
he did one fight, I think. Pretty sure he did one fight. Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
they don't have the talent to go out there and actually like get anybody. Yeah, like I mean, they might have money, but nobody's going to PFL. Especially when UFC isn't afraid to just get anybody and everybody, unless you're really going to price yourself out for them. Like, I think they should pay Ngannou whatever he wanted, but, UFC is going to be cheap with these things. But they don't, there's not enough talent out there in MMA, and most of them's in UFC because they sign everybody pretty early. It used to be, when you made it to the UFC, it's like, oh yeah, you're one of the top guys out there. And there was, great fighters in Japan at the time, Pride obviously, but even like Dream had some really good fighters, and like those guys and then Strikeforce came along, and Strikeforce had good fighters, or Elite XC was first, and they had some good fighters. Now these promotions, Bellator doesn't exist because they got merged with PFL, or PFL bought them. PFL barely exists. I don't know who these fighters are at this point. I don't know half the UFC fighters at this point. But the talent pool.
Would you know them if you asked them to throw a fight for you?
No, I just walk up to anybody and be like, "Hey, can you throw a fight?" And they're like, "I don't fight in the UFC." I'll be like, "I bet you could get signed, and then you could throw a fight, and you could make a whole lot more money than the 15-15 that the UFC is going to pay you on this." Michael Chandler was big outside the UFC. I used to do a weekly series with Gil Martinez. He was Michael Chandler's striking coach at Extreme Couture. Very nice dude. And then I stopped covering MMA, and so I didn't do anything with him. But he was Michael Chandler's striking coach. He was Gray Maynard's striking coach, for those who might remember Gray Maynard. And I talked to Gil every single week about those guys. And this was at a time when Chandler was in Bellator doing well, and Gray was facing Frankie for the lightweight title, which did not go well for Gray in either fight. They started well, and then they didn't end well. But I was talking to Gil every single week, and again, very nice dude. So yeah, but there used to be just a ton of talent out there, and there's not now.
It's just not the same, baby. But I also don't pay attention to that stuff. So
I was saying, you don't. I'm shocked you brought up PFL. I was like, what do you know about PFL?
it was in conversation with somebody else about the TNA stuff when we were talking about ownership, and we were talking about just a whole plethora of stuff. And I laughed because it's like PFL, and I know about PFL. I've never watched PFL, but like I am aware of what it is and who's been part of it and so on and so forth.
Name me 3 PFL fighters, Jewel.
No, I can name you 3 PFL investors. I got that for you. You know, Wiz Khalifa is an investor in PFL.
Really? That makes
yes.
sense.
Ted Leonisis, who owns the Caps and the Wizards.
Yeah.
There's some weird names associated with this thing. Some surprising, some not so surprising. Big CM Punk CFFC fan.
Wiz Khalifa was probably just high as hell. He's like, "What are we investing in? All right, sure."
So I like
fighting.
To watch,
this sounds great.
I like to watch the Architectural Digest YouTube channel sometimes, because sometimes they'll do like house tours with celebrities and people who have like good taste in whatever decor and architecture. One of them that's really good is actually what's his face? Lenny Kravitz. He's got like an old Paris penthouse apartment, and it's beautiful. It's really, listen, it's like, it's a little too much, but he's an artist, so you kind of expect it. Anyway, that's a good video. I watched one that had like a silly amount of views, and it's Tyga showing you his Barcelona penthouse apartment. Most of these videos run about 20 minutes. Tyga's 6. Because all he can say is, I like the views, and I'll try to keep it looking like New York in Barcelona, like New York penthouse in Barcelona. And it's go watch the video, and then for once, I'm going to tell you, look at the comments, because everyone is uniform, just like, what the fuck was that? Why did what was this?
I respect
it. Someone was like, did you just upload a rough draft? Because this was only 6 minutes.
He trains with Jay Glazer, Richard pointing out for our audio listeners. Wiz does train, though. He likes fighting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he trains with Jay Glazer. Jay Glazer trains a bunch of dudes. Like, entertainment, NFL, NHL, like, they all just go to Glazer and train. I was listening to him yesterday. He was on Dan Patrick's show, and he's like, yeah, the Jonas Brothers, Demi Lovato, they all train. Like this, I knew Demi Lovato trained because she's posted videos as well. And he did mention Wiz Khalifa. And it's like the Jonas Brothers, they're out here training MMA. That's insane. But yeah, they just all go to Jay Glazer and they get their MMA training. Oh yeah, I do think Wiz is like a MMA fan, but I don't think he cares enough to like pay attention to what's actually going on in PFL. He's like, oh cool, I can invest in this MMA league. All right, sure.
There's gonna be money coming my way. Sure, why not?
Well, maybe. I don't
money
know how much
laundered,
PFL's making.
Well, who knows? Maybe they're getting deals that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. What else do we have to talk about?
You're avoiding AEW according to the chat, which sounds right.
What am I going to talk about AEW? They have a show tonight, and we do the preview at the end. NXT was last night. People at the top of the show were commenting about this thumbnail that I made for it. You're welcome, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah, sorry. That's you get creamed, and you got to tell them. You got to tell everyone.
Chelsea made that very easy with that backstage promo she did. She knows what she's doing.
Knows. And so we take advantage. That's the best.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
So I'm getting people asking about my mics on the road. What am I doing? I'm not going to bury Thea Hale. We're going to wait. I think that might be. We can probably have this conversation now. So
I don't know. 15 minutes? Is that going to be long enough?
Do you need more than 15 minutes to talk about it?
I mean, I might need an hour.
We could do it and then take a break. Talk Doc at the top of the hour. We can get Doc Gallows feelings towards a guy that he worked with and a woman that he saw frequently when he went to NXT to go work with Michin.
Did he work with?
I don't think they worked, but like I think she was with the company at the time.
No, but did he work with Hendry? They work together? When did they work together?
They were there at the same time because the Good Brothers came in 2020.
In TNA?
Yeah, they came in. It was Slammiversary 2020 because
it
was the whole
2020. My head is thinking 2022. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm actually now I got to find out if Doc Gallows and Joe Hendry worked together.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually did work together.
Oh, okay. All right. They're not there. What about Carl Anderson? I'm looking to see if they've had any matches together first. He might just honestly come on and we can just ask him. Did you work with Joe Hendry at all?
Maybe Joe worked Lariato. I don't know if Joe worked any Lariato
that's
shows.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. I don't think he has.
We're gonna spend our interview asking Doc Gallows about Joe Hendry. What a waste.
It might be a really good interview then. Oh man. No, but so anyway, for those who missed it, at the end of NXT, the main event segment was the as Booker T put it, the AAA Mega that was Booker T trying to put over whatever titles they won and whatever championship celebration Ethan Page and Chelsea Green were gonna have. That was him, by the way. Those were his words, as mishmash as they were. They do the whole thing. They tease that Joe Hendry makes his popping out of a cake, and turns out that he's not in the cake. Thea Hale, with her new Thea Hendry theme song, is in the cake. And proceeds to cream pie both. Well, first Chelsea, and then later on Hendry gets to cream pie. Mr. All Ego Ethan Page there. Everyone gets a cream pie. Everyone gets white cream all over their face. And Hendry and Thea Hale stand tall and they do the wave your hands from side to side. So they're going to challenge for that. The AAA Mega, as Booker T like to call it, next week on Gold Rush. White cream everywhere, Jeremy. Oh, by the way, I will say this. If you watch the opening when they're doing everyone's walking through the parking lot, you do see Chelsea and Ethan walking in, and behind them you see Thea Hale walking through with the stupid garbage can. So they did set it up for the backstage lurking people. So that was funny, but otherwise, yeah. Let me get your thoughts on this because it's happening.
This is the ultimate rib on me. For years, I have been asking for Thea Hale to be featured and pushed and get television time. And for years, my requests have been ignored. Outside of one or two hope spots, they have been ignored. And for years, I have said, I don't get the Joe Hendry stuff. I think it's fine. I think he has its place, but it's not really for me. He got over. His championship run should have been better. It wasn't for reasons. And now he's just the dude who appears. Fine. It's a fine little gimmick. But people know that Joe Hendry is just not for me. And so what do? They say, Jeremy, you want Thea Hale on television? You want Thea Hale prominently featured on television? We'll give you that. But we're going to monkey paw you. And we're going to pair her with Joe Hendry. You win, Shawn Michaels. You got me on this one. You're one of the greatest of all time. People put you on the Mount Rushmore. I was a huge fan growing up. You win. You win again.
He got you. Do you believe that they'll win those tag titles now? No, neither do I. And you know what's even more enraging than all of this? There is a high possibility, probability even, that Hendry is going to lose. Thea Hale will eat the pin. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to turn around and put Joe Hendry in this John Cena last time is now tournament for having lost. This big old loser, Joe Hendry, is going to be in this tournament to face John Cena. Might even win a match to go to the semis. Might even be the Cinderella story till he gets squashed by Gunther. Could be happening.
Thea Hale should be in the tournament, and she should win the whole damn thing. She should face John Cena in his last match.
I mean, I don't hate it.
I don't have the energy to rant about this. I gotta give it up to Sean. I really do. You know what? I respect it. When someone pulls one over like that, I don't have the energy to rant and scream and be mad about it. I asked for more Thea Hale. That's all I wanted for years. I just wanted Thea Hale to be featured, and I'm getting it. Am I happy the way that I'm getting it? No. I don't want to see her do a Joe Hendry bit. There's a shelf life on a Joe Hendry bit. She was a grown ass woman. 3 months ago, 4 months ago. That was a while ago, honestly.
She's still doing it, by the way, because when they did her Evolve intro, it said her lower third said grown ass woman.
Yeah. Sure. At least she's not on Evolve anymore. Except they taped like 15 matches, I'm sure, from that. She's on television. I'm happy about that. She's working with Chelsea Green, who is one of the greatest performers in WWE history and is also prominently featured on television. I'm happy about that. Beggars can't be choosers when it comes to their favorites in wrestling. You gotta be just happy with what you're given, because this is a very WWE line, because it's not up to you. You don't get to pick how people are pushed. I wanted Thea Hale on TV. She's on TV. I'm gonna count my blessings and be thankful that this is happening. And I hope she continues to make the most of it, and I hope she grows from Joe Hendry and moves on and ends up on the main roster and pins Becky Lynch and Julia, stacks them both to win both titles, and then stacks Jade Cargill and Stephanie Vaquer to win both those titles, and then beats John Cena in his last match. That is the roadmap for Thea Hale. But it's got to start somewhere. And if it starts with popping out of a cake and being Thea Hendry, I have to live with that.
Did you see what she does when she pops out of the cake? Because she's a grown-ass woman, but she's also 13. I'm not giving the middle finger. This is not middle finger. You don't have to bleep it. I'm getting a pat the center.
She's getting her ring, you know? I like that.
She's getting a ring?
No issue.
She's going for that crown jewel title?
Maybe. That's next. When she beats Stephanie Vaquer, I assume she just acquires it, you know?
She rips it off of her finger. This is mine now.
Yeah. By proxy, she just wins. Guys, I don't have a rant. I promise you, I do not. Maybe give me a few weeks and it might be there. But today, I do not. I'm in the acceptance stage of what happened last night.
We're just opening up, baby.
I've accepted it.
We're just starting. This is the opening of this whole thing. We're the impetus, if you will. We're not there yet. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the point where we need to rant about it. Last week you saw the gathering of the Thea and Joe partnership in the trash can. This week you saw the pie facing in their partnership. Next week you see round 3, the loss of the tag title match.
As long as Joe Hendry gets pinned.
Well, I doubt it. Yeah, the slow cooking for 3 weeks is real slow cooking in a company that tends to take years to do some stuff or not at all. I love someone in the chat saying, what if the result of the match is Thea earns Chelsea's respect and becomes Slagent T? Listen, I don't hate the idea as long as it ends with Thea then taking over Chelsea's spot and being the new woman in charge, because she's so grown up, she's so grown ass that she is in charge.
I mean, maybe we get there, but no, I like the idea of a Chelsea and Thea pairing and just get her on the main roster. That's fine. That's fine with me. I like that. Just get her away from Joe Hendry. You stay away from her. Get a job.
Thank you, Demi. these things don't get past me. You know this. Most things do. Who am I kidding? We'll see. Listen, Thea Hale, we know what she can do. We know what she can do. They should win the women's tag titles. They should go on a run. It should be they're just taking over the entire company. Thea Hale, Chelsea Green. Listen, Chelsea just signed that new deal. Just bring up Thea Hale and bring her up on a five-year max deal. Give her everything. Tell her to stop putting her ring fingers up.
Well, that's long-term storytelling. At some point, someone's going to propose, and then they can do a wrestling wedding.
She is the next wrestling wedding. She's really trying for it. That's one hell of a way to do it. I'm all about it. Listen, if Indy Hartwell can do it and get away with it, if Steph DeLander can do it and then get divorced and then do it again for real, then I think there's hope for everyone.
Well, the Indy Hartwell wedding, unfortunately, didn't really go anywhere, and that was kind of dropped and didn't lead to anything. Despite the fact that it was good television,
that was pretty much all you got. Remember the hatchet?
Unfortunately, I do remember the hatchet. Yeah,
that was all it was about. Just getting that hatchet spot, so they could do a hatchet job with their wedding. Oh yeah. Anyway, the rest of NXT was what it was. I'm surprised you don't have a rant. Any of the Dark State stocks got lowered a little bit. The NXT Tag Team Champions were made to look like an idiot by Javon Evans, just taking them out one by one. They running into barricades, running into tables, running into everything but themselves. Javon Evans beat Shaquan Sugars in the match and then ran his ass out of there.
I don't have a rant, and I don't care enough about Dark State to rant about them.
These are your boys. These are your guys. What are we doing?
The stocks are still good. They're still the champions. They were in the main event of the show. Saquon Sugars, main eventer on NXT. All right, they looked a little dorky, but that's fine. Javon Evans looked good. I'm cool with Javon Evans looking good. I like Javon. I don't know. I had no issue with this. Yeah, I'm ranting about Dark State out here. Stocks are still good. Hold on to the stocks, folks. They're still good.
You're gonna Diamond Hands Dark State? Good old Diamond Dark State?
I mean, they're gonna lose these titles and then disappear off television, so
that's true. That's very upsetting and very true. They just got those titles back. Yeah, they got to keep them at least for a couple months. Honestly, they're just going to take them. They're going to keep them until Hank and Tank come back from Japan, and then they're going to win them back in the new year because they're the new Hank and Tank. They're going to be, Ichiban #1, Hank and Tank.
No. Paul Jara finisher. Don't sell now. They didn't look good last night, so they're down a little bit from previous weeks after they defeated the Hardys. But they're going to get the comeback in the next week or two. And then they'll be back up. And then if you want to sell, fine, if you think they're going to lose the titles. But you don't sell now. They're not going to go down off of this. They're going to go up off of this. Because they're not going to be, maybe. They might be dorks again next week. But for right now, the theory would be that they get the revenge next week. So that's when they'll go up a little bit. If anything, buy a little now because they should be up next week.
Not the Austin theory, just to make sure. It's never the Austin theory. The Javon Evans and Shaquan Sugars match was really good, by the way. If you want to go out and check it out, you should. It's not me who doesn't know how stocks work.
Yeah, Paul Jara finisher doesn't know how to hold the stock.
I didn't say nothing about stocks. Tell the Jewish kid he doesn't know how the stocks work. By the way, I know. 8th grade taught me well. Got to go and do the fake stock day at school. Come on. You think I don't know how to make some? No, I don't.
Did you do fake stock day? Is that a thing?
It was like an 8th grade thing where they're teaching you how to buy and sell stocks, and they bring you to the gym and they do a whole day where like you're part of this firm where you're selling stocks and buying stocks, and by the end of the day, like whatever, it's a crash course in capitalism, but you're in 8th grade, so really, what do you know?
Oh, I bet our guest knows a lot about stocks. I feel like he's got some investments.
I think he does. If he's ready for us, he can give us a thumbs up. He and his tag team partner, Carl Anderson. The two of them are going to be taking on the Skyscrapers for the MLW Tag Team Championships at MLW and Don Gato Special, November 20th in Charleston, South Carolina. We are welcoming right now the one and only Luke Gallows, Doc Gallows, millions of Gallows.
Oh no, we can't hear him.
You. Your mic's not connected through this. We're gonna get it fixed, and then we're gonna be back on. I promise. Love this chair though. My God, this throne is immaculate.
I feel like it's made of bones.
It is. It is. It's the bone chair.
Oh, we still can't hear you, Doc.
Still can't hear you. If you go into your audio settings, you should be able to connect it through the pod mic option, or if you have the Rodecaster Pro board. He's got a similar setup to me, so I got this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. You hit something.
Well, I don't think I'm going through my Rode mic like I'm supposed to be, but that's okay. It's fine. We're here.
We got you.
Yeah, I was pumped to come on the show, and then I heard you guys talking about stocks. Apparently, you looked at the market the last couple of mornings as well, huh?
yeah, ain't great out
Good
there.
God, between the stock market and the crypto market,
I'm not into the crypto. A little bit of stock stuff.
It's a ride, brother. Tough. It's a ride.
yeah, not great. I mean, we're talking about wrestler stock right now. So Dark State stocks are kind of up, but a little bit down. Thea Hale stocks are sort of up. She's in the main event feature out there. So if you were investing in wrestler stocks, who would you invest in right now?
Oh, I mean, the resurgence of the Good Brothers worldwide. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
November 20th, Charleston, South Carolina, partnered up with Don Gato Tequila, Kenny Power's own tequila brand, taking on the humongous athletic Skyscrapers for the MLW Tag Team titles. Put your money on the boys, baby. Come on.
I feel like everybody should always have their money on you guys, because if nothing else, you guys are always making money. So the money always goes up when you guys are around.
We're always out there chasing it, brother. That's the name of the game. We've had so much fun in these last few months of being out in the wild and getting to make our own schedule and go anywhere we want to go. And MLW is the next big debut. We've been hitting some good debuts here lately. We're going to be at the Crash in Tijuana, Mexico for a big debut on Friday night. We'll be at SoCal Pro Thursday. Then Saturday, 2 shots in Georgia, and then one on Sunday. So we're going everywhere, and the road is leading to MLW's Don Gato Special, November 20th. And if you don't know this is pretty amazing to me. The current wrestling market, you can get a ticket to go into that show for just $15. And in today's market, good on Court Bauer and MLW for pulling that off, because even owning my own independent promotion, I don't know how they're doing that. That's great.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier for MLWGo.com, $15 tickets in this economy, and for a show that has a loaded. Roster. It's really cool. It is great.
100%.
Does Carl know you're doing this interview alone? Because I feel like every time you guys do interviews, it's together.
Well, I'll let you know a little secret. Over here, we have our own podcast as well, Talking Shop, but our production team's not deep. Okay, so we are going live tonight, 10 p.m. I don't know when this drops, if this even matters, but Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite, 10 p.m. on the Talking Shop YouTube channel. And Carl is busy working on our StreamYard account right now because we're not great with that. So I did 2 Zoom interviews this morning, and then I jumped on here, and of course my mic doesn't work. So it's par for the course for Talking Shop. So if you guys are bored tonight, join us for the ride. I'm sure there'll be technical difficulties and lots of fun on top of that.
Well, this is a live interview here.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we're live, pal.
We're live, pal. I'm pretty much a StreamYard king now, then. It seems like. This is great.
Yeah, all the kinks are worked out.
Perfect. I don't know if I trust you guys can fully hear me, but we'll do the best we can, right?
We can. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. I was going to say, actually, talk directly into that mic for a sec.
Testing.
Yeah, it is that microphone that you're.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
You're fine. You're good. You mentioned going back and doing a bunch of debuts. One of them was actually, so I'm in Toronto, but you guys were in Winnipeg doing Winnipeg Pro recently and doing the Rumble in the Burt, which was the show that Mercedes Moné was on, where she had a huge following. Talk to me about working the Winnipeg Pro show, because they've definitely been in conversation lately.
I will tell you what, I was thoroughly impressed by Devin and the Winnipeg Pro team. They put on a hell of a show. Little Good Brothers anecdote from that. We got there at intermission. We went on directly after intermission. We were 6 hours delayed on the flight. They had a car waiting. We jumped in. We changed into our wrestling gear in about 3 minutes, and we ran out there and started fighting all over the Burt. What a cool building. What a cool atmosphere for pro wrestling, that theater setting. There's some really cool pictures from that show. And I know they've released it. I don't know exactly where you can watch it right now. But Winnipeg Pro doing big things. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling in Canada. We've been a part of a lot of that. They've been doing big things. So the scene is alive and well all over the States, all over Canada, all over the world. And we're enjoying the ride, and we're going everywhere, baby.
Was your MLW debut delayed? Because I feel like after you guys got released by WWE, there was very quickly a teaser on an MLW show, and now it's been, and you know, this was like last year or earlier this year, and now it's November. You guys are doing the debut, but I feel like that teaser ran again like a week after you guys got released. So was there a delay there?
There was a delay there. There was a bit of a scheduling conflict, but I think both parties are happy that it worked the way that it did. You know, I was saying this earlier. I've been loosely affiliated with Court Bauer since, you know, almost my teenage years. He was my writer in developmental in Deep South Wrestling in 2005. The first home of our Talking Shop podcast was MLW Radio, you know, over a decade ago, but never stepped foot in an MLW ring. So it's all kind of coming together on this big, cool show. It's another tag team title opportunity, something else to throw on the mantle back here. So we're excited about it. And it's also cool too, because I think the Skyscrapers are a unique team. Being a big guy myself, that's two very athletic, very big men. So I'm really hoping we're on offense for most of that, because I don't want to wear my flying boots, but we'll see what happens. But I think that it's cool. That MLW show, as I'm familiarizing myself with the product, is a lot of fun. It's wild, it's wacky, it's all over the place. There's something for everybody on there. I've been, my son and I have been checking out some of the shows that are posted and that you can watch. It's pretty cool.
Who's kind of stood out to you on MLW as you're kind of making your way into that world and that product?
There's so many unique characters there, and it's such a unique roster. And there's a lot of people that I had seen in other places, but now seeing them in these matches together, it's kind of like this thing going on in pro wrestling now, where there's kind of dream matches everywhere, or maybe matches that you would never imagine you would see. You know, like the Lucha Libre crossover is amazing in MLW. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there, but I took big notice when the Skyscrapers won the tag team titles, because all the way back to that original teaser, that was our thing. We're like, we want to go in there and win the titles. Then we don't show up in June. Then they won them, and I go, well, written in the stars. Here we go, boys. So pretty exciting.
Working with Bishop Dyer, Baron Corbin, again, you were one of his last matches in WWE. It was the dark match, Cruz and Corbin against you and Carl. Have you talked to him about things about coming into MLW and just kind of some background on working with Corbin?
Well, you know, I've seen Corbin out on the scene a lot. We've been friendly over the years. When Carl and I came to WWE together for the first time, he was being brought up from NXT. So we know each other well, but I mean, there's a huge story behind that, because it may just seem like a dark match to some people, but that's the match that ripped my partner's shoulder out, and he had to go into surgery and ends up, you know, being released before he's cleared to wrestle again. So that was a little bit of a dark spot for Carl Anderson there for a minute, because it was like, damn, I got hurt in the ring, and now I'm back out here, and basically we cleared him ourselves. I'm like, are you ready? Because I took a bunch of bookings. He goes, well, I guess so. Here we go. And it's worked out great so far. So yeah, the Corbin history runs deep there, Bishop Dyer. So I think Machine Gun's going to be targeting that shoulder on him. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, when you guys came back and you had a bunch of bookings, did you feel like you needed to take on a little bit more just to make things a little bit easier on Carl? Yeah,
there are times when you do, but we're a big man, smaller athletic man duo. So you know, that plays out in a lot of different ways. But yeah, I don't mind carrying the weight when I need to, and that's what's made the team work for so long. I mean, we've been together for over a decade. We're business partners outside of the ring. We know each other's families, each other's kids, so it really makes it work, because when one needs to pick up for the other one, we always do, and I think that's why we stayed together for all these years, which is cool.
You do, from what I've seen. I listen to a lot of interviews. So I listen to a lot of your interviews, you and Carl, especially when you're getting back out there. You guys are making the media rounds. You have Talking Shop, your own podcast. What's a question that you're just like tired of answering?
Anything where, when you're doing these media rounds and people want to, and it's the nature of the beast because everybody wants clickbait, right? But answering the questions about the WWE run and all of that, like, I mean, that there's no ill will there, but that's kind of in the rearview mirror right now. So I love coming on here and talking about the future and the vibrant pro wrestling scene and not just rehashing the same story over and over again. So that's a good thing.
So tell me about AJ Styles and working with him.
Dude, I answered this earlier. I mean, do we really believe AJ Styles is going to retire? He faked us out last year. I was standing there outside the ring in Europe.
I was going to say, it was going to be really awkward when I asked you guys if you were ever offered to do Wrestle House when he came into Impact.
We were not.
Would you have done it? Because that was a fun and weird experience doing Wrestle House. I covered TNA for our website, so for me, I'm in there.
If we would have had a little creative freedom, we could have had a hell of a lot of fun with that.
So, I figured if anyone would have, it would have been you guys.
Yeah, exactly. We would have made that Talking Shop Mania 3, maybe. I don't know.
You worked NWA San Wow. I think it'll air in about 6 months or so.
Congratulations on your pronunciation of that, by the way, because I was having a lot of trouble.
Oh no, I've watched a lot of NWA. People might not believe me, but I've watched a lot of NWA. That show was also famous, and we talked to Billy Corgan about this for the maybe Coke, not Coke spot during the original San Wow with Father James Mitchell. Did this come up for San Wow 3? Did you have to, do an anniversary?
We didn't get pitched a below storyline coming in. Not that we'd have been opposed. we're an open book, but So I was working in WWE when that happened, but one of my dearest friends forever in the business is Mike Knox, and he was at my house like right after that took place, and his now wife was showing me. I mean, it was a little shocking. I don't think it maybe came off the way that it was intended, but they're thinking outside the box, guys. You got to give them that.
I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, the NWA was a lot of fun. Like, we were on second, but the roster there in Atlanta, and it was in Center Stage when we just did that. I think it was October 17th, and the house was rocking. It was great. So I'm looking forward to doing. We got more coming up with the NWA. Our debut hasn't aired yet, so all kinds of good stuff coming down the pike.
I loved it. I told Billy Corgan he needs to run it back with that, and people were a little too sensitive on there. We have a fake wrestling.
It's
promotion.
Wrestling, guys.
Yeah,
come on. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, we have a fake wrestling promotion on this show called Ring of Hallucinations, where it's all about just drugs and money. And I feel like you guys would fit in here perfectly because Talking Shop is the greatest thing ever.
Carl and I were talking about that, and I said, I feel like Sex Ferguson was a COVID-era character. I don't know if he fits in the modern mold of today's wrestling a few short years later, but Ring of Hallucination would definitely be a home for Sex Ferguson.
Yeah, MLW gets mad at us because we've pitched this to Dijak, we've pitched this to Dyer, and basically every MLW talent, they're all for it, and they're like, you guys need to stop stealing our talent for your fake promotion.
I love it. I mean, MLW fits in Danny McBride, Don Gato Tequila, Sex Ferguson, Ring of Hallucination. Holy shit, we could book this all night, boys.
We're here. Oh yeah, look, Talking Shop is some of my favorite stuff. The COVID one. Sean and I know you're familiar with Sean. You've done interviews with him.
Oh yeah.
You're working with the A team now. He's the B squad out here. But Sean and I reviewed the show after it happened, and I'm not gonna lie, I was high out of my mind watching this show and reviewing this show. Yeah, and I was like, this is the perfect way to watch it.
That's exactly how you have to watch that show.
I was like, what is going on with this evolution? Who is showing up here? This is great.
I don't know if we won many friends or influenced many people, but we had a hell of a lot of fun making that.
It's some of my favorite stuff. I know you've talked about doing a third one and writing that and everything, but it's some of my favorite stuff. Like, it's wrestling to me, like, kind of how it's supposed to be, of not taking itself too serious and just having fun with things. So that's why I always love it.
I did the media rounds to prep for that show a few years ago, and You know, you'd come on some shows like this and people were like, oh, for it, this is going to be awesome. And then other interviewers are like, we need to get these guys off the air now. So it was a mixed bag. It's a niche audience, I guess. It's not for everybody. But that was my point. Like you said, wrestling is supposed to be fun. You know, I mean, that's why the ridiculousness of it over the years. And I think sometimes fans get caught up in taking the product and themselves as viewers too seriously. Like, you know, it is what it is. It plays out the way it plays out. And if you didn't like it last week, then try it next week. Who knows? It'll change. It's forever changing. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's so easy to just kind of drop off for a couple of weeks, chill out, and come back when you're ready.
Pop back in, and now you got a million options out there. You know, you have the big daddies, and then you have all the up and comers like the NWA, like MLW. I don't consider any of those independent promotions, and there's a hell of a lot of great indie wrestling out there too. We just talked about, you know, Winnipeg Pro. I mean, that show was, you could put that up against a lot of shows anywhere in the world, and it's a competitor. It was damn good. So I think that if you don't like what's over here, look over there. There's something else for you. You know?
It's pretty amazing to watch how the wrestling bubble has both grown, but at the same time feel like it's shrank just because you've got these larger companies doing whatever. But meanwhile, underneath, what we're talking about is like some of the best talent, and some of it it's ever been. It's very strong.
It's fun. Yeah. The free agency right now is having a bit of a boom because there's not a lot of people out there that you're real familiar with, but there's a lot of people who I'm just seeing for the first time, and I don't have an example off the top of my head, and I'm going like, holy shit, these guys need more eyes on them. You know, we just worked a great team, Rev Pro over in England on Sunday, and you know, that's a great show too. That Andy and those guys at Rev Pro do a great job. We got a lot coming up with them, and we're gonna win those tag team titles too, I predict. So we'll see. But
are you guys going on the Mercedes run of just collecting these titles? Because what do you have? The ALW, AAW?
The AAW, yeah. We're gonna try to add those MLW. We're at the Crash Lucha Libre in Tijuana on Friday. Definitely looking to add those. So yeah, the schedule's insane right now too. People are like, do you like making your own schedule? I'm like, I love it, but I mean, we got 15 bookings in November. Like, we're two of the busiest men in the business right now. That's more hectic than a WWE schedule was. So it's really fun, and it's different everywhere you go, and that's what is another thing we've been really enjoying about it.
Is there anywhere you want to go that you haven't been yet, whether it's full career or during this current run?
Well, I will say this: in the next month, something huge is going to happen. So please tune in. I wish I could tell you more. But if you tune in to Talking Shop Live tonight at 10 p.m. on the Talking Shop YouTube channel, with no glitches, hopefully, maybe we'll be able to look further into it.
Well, DM me the story so I can, or DM me the scoop so I can pre-write this story out here.
I love it, man. Hell yeah.
I don't spoil anything. I don't report anything. I just want to know things so I can have it written. So when it's announced, I'm the first one to publish it and be like, it's already out there. It's already on the site.
Dude, when it happens, DM me. I'll give you the full scoop.
Okay.
I'll leak it all to you.
You can just show up on this show anytime. This link is static.
Yeah.
And you can just
I'm just here to do
on.
a couple of quick leaks, and then I'm going to jump off. No problem.
Actually, so earlier we were talking about like wrestling is ridiculous, and it is, you know, the business that it is. Have you ever been pitched something so absurd that you were just like, I don't think I can do this, or I don't know if I really should do this?
Festus?
Oh, no, come on. I don't know. Come on. We know that. But I'm talking
it was fun. That's one that I get a lot. Like, we're like, were you embarrassed that you had to do that? I'm like, no, I was 23 and wanted a job and to be on TV. I wasn't embarrassed at all.
That's why I'm like, come on.
Not everybody gets to be Ric Flair, guys, you know?
No, but you know what I'm talking about. Something where you're just like, all right, not how I would have done this, but let's try it out.
I mean, we've done some silly shit over the years. I mean, you know that I think some of the weirdest that we ever felt was when we would all be lined up in a hallway, and it was a group of people that they weren't necessarily wanting to use, and it was like, ready, set, go, chase each other through the arena for the 24/7 title. And I'm like, we're one of the most decorated tag teams in the world, and we're in a conga line running around for the 24/7 title. So, but hey, we did it. It is what it is, you know.
How did you find Chillicothe Ohio. I know Carl has Cincinnati roots. I'm from Ohio, and Chillicothe is about a 3-hour drive or so. It's not heard of, like it's not well known when people think of Ohio, but they do a lot of stuff in wrestling. Like you can go there any weekend and there's a wrestling show out there.
I was literally shocked by Chillicothe, Ohio. I thought like it's going to be what it is. It's a country town. It's going to be a fun indie show. Let's just have fun. And I mean, there were collectors showing up with, 18 WWE encyclopedias and every action figure of you that's ever been created and all these collectibles and merch. Like they are serious. It is not a casual wrestling fan town. These people are die hard. So it made it a lot of fun. We actually, we did like a street fight with America's Most Wanted, and Wildcat Chris Harris is getting back onto the scene a little bit. So it was a lot of fun being out there with those guys. Match was a party. We fought all over the arena, and people seem to love it. So yeah, I'll definitely go back to Chillicothe for the great Bobby Fulton of one half of the Fantastics.
Go ahead, Jeremy. I know you want to ask about more than just Chillicothe, Ohio.
No, people don't know. Like people do not know that Chillicothe
It's a hidden.
is like
It's a hidden.
Yeah, it's legitimately like a hotbed for wrestling
I swear.
out here.
Heath Slater looked at me and goes, "Man, I've been the champ here for 3 damn years." I go, "Oh, cool. Defenses, bud."
And people know about Cincy, they know about Cleveland, maybe Toledo and stuff. But we went to it was a Bret Hart signing like last year, or a couple of years ago, and they run shows like every other weekend out there, and you would not suspect, because it takes you about 5 minutes to walk through the town. Like 5-minute walk, you're into the next town. You've gone through all of Chillicothe.
Well, I mean, they have a hell of a roster on those shows too. There's all these TV guys are there, and then all these these indie guys that we're seeing all over the place. Like he's selective about who comes in. It's not just throwing something together down at the gym on a Saturday. Like it is a big deal, And I was pleasantly surprised by Chillicothe and the love of the fans of Chillicothe, I'll say.
Well, next up in 2 weeks, you're going to be taking on the Skyscrapers, MLW tag titles, MLW and Don Gato Tequila. Is that how you're going to celebrate if you guys win those MLW tag titles?
I mean, come on. What's better? We're sitting here talking about how pro wrestling's supposed to be fun. We got Kenny Powers. We've got Don Gato Tequila. We've got the world famous Good Brothers taking on the Skyscrapers, another world tag team title opportunity. This is one I'm really looking forward to. I can't wait to make that MLW debut. Can't wait to sink our teeth into that show. And especially right now, I mean, bang for your buck, $15, you can get a ticket to this show with this loaded roster. It's pretty incredible, especially with the wrestling market the way that it is right now. So if you can be there live, be there live. If you can watch along. Guaranteed to deliver. November 20th, Thursday night, Charleston, South Carolina. MLW Skyscrapers versus the Good Brothers. Come out and see us.
Now, before we let you go, we like to play a little game on this channel. Would you like to play with us?
Oh, of course.
It's called Partner Promo Punch in the Face.
Okay.
I give you 3 names. You get to pick which one you're going to partner with in a tag team match. Promo with in the ring, one-on-one, just talk and talk. And which one you want to punch in the face, have a singles match. Are you ready? All right. We're gonna take 3 old gimmicks of yours. And we're gonna let you pick which one is partner promo punch in the face. Okay. We'll take Festus because you brought him up. We'll take Sex Ferguson because you brought him up. And we'll take Kane because you got to experience that masked experience.
I think I'm gonna punch Kane right in the face.
Would be the first time.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna partner with Festus, and I'm just gonna control him I'm gonna have a ring bell, and I'm not even gonna get in. I'm gonna let him do it all. And then I'm definitely promoing with Sex Ferguson. Those are my favorite promos ever. I don't know about anybody else, but I sure like them.
We love it when they put some thought into the answers.
Sex Ferguson's one of the greatest promos of all time. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, that's why maybe you don't want to have the promo with him, because then you might not win on a promo off.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on how dirty you're willing to get. He's a dirty bastard. So.
Good point. Well, either way, you won't be such a dirty bastard if you go check out MLW and Don Gato Tequila on November the 20th. It's going to be live on YouTube. If you can't be there, it will be on YouTube. This is Thursday, November 20th. The Good Brothers are going to take on the Skyscrapers for the MLW tag titles. There is plenty more there. If you happen to be in the area, you want to go, MLWgo.com. Get your tickets for $15 to start. Pretty nuts. Before you get out of here, Doc, anything else you want to put over?
At _Big LG, at Machine Gun KA. Follow us. We're going all over the world. See us live. Since this is live, you can join us live tonight, which I hope both of you will. Talking Shop YouTube channel, 10 p.m. It's time to take the gloves off. No more taped horse shit out of the Good Brothers. You're going to get the gloves off. Some people will be offended. Some surprise guests will show up. It's going to be an overall great time in the shop. Join us tonight for that. Join us Thursday, November 20th, MLW, Charleston, South Carolina. Thanks so much for having me on, boys.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Doc.
Right.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for teaching me StreamYard.
Double pro, you got this.
I hope so.
Take care of yourself, Doc.
All right. Cheers, fellas.
The one and only Doc Gallows. Hell of a chat. Looking forward to that MLW.
I mean, we knew it would be. We know it would
Yes.
be. Again, I listen to Talking Shop almost every week. Sometimes they skip weeks, so I think those are about the only weeks that I miss. And that's another show where it's just two guys, two very good friends, just bullshitting and bantering. And those are my favorite kind of shows. They give you wrestling stories, and I love the wrestling stories, but they just bullshit and banter, and they're very good about like interacting with their audience. They've had people, our pal Joseph has been on the show, and they've had other people from like their Discord and everything be on the show. So yeah, it's a fantastic show. So live show tonight, 10:10. Everybody can check that out.
Once again, big thank you to MLW for the hookup, and we'll keep getting them hookups, working with y'all to bring in the best talent. Who do you want to see?
Until we steal all their talent from Ring of Hallucinations, and they're like, well, now you're a competitor, brother.
Listen, at least they're not kind of sitting on us during the interviews, making sure we only ask about MLW, nothing but MLW, and no more than 20 minutes with MLW stars.
Could you imagine if we only asked them? Like, not that we couldn't pull it off, but a lot of these people are just doing MLW for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask. I mean, we do a little bit, but who do you want to face in MLW? What are your goals in MLW? What are you looking forward to in this match in MLW? Like, you can only say so much when it comes to this stuff, especially people we've had on the show, like Dijak, Doc, Corbin. It's like, how are we gonna just speak about MLW when they've had these storied careers going all over the world?
It would be absurd if we have to stick to the one company that they work for. God forbid. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we talk to the people we want to talk to. If you got people you want us to talk to, let us know. Whether you do that via Twitter or if you do this on the comments of this video. We always love to chat with people, whether it's myself, Jeremy, SB3, any combination of us. We'll always talk to your favorites or your soon-to-be favorites. How about that? We've made favorites out of some people out of these interviews as well. No Joe Hendry though. Yeah, probably. I mean, I would argue Paul London has become a favorite of many people, including
true.
us.
Yeah.
Kuro Kwan was another one who joined the show and was a lot of fun to chat with, and unexpectedly so because we didn't know much about him, and he ended up being very informative and very just a sweet person. Someone saying do a Cody interview and be like, what do you want to talk about? Yeah.
Well, that would be my opening question to Cody. Honestly.
Of course,
that would be. Abaddon would be fun. We should get them on here.
I think they're starting to do more like content, and be more open to the idea. I don't know. I think at one point they were not super into doing podcasts. I don't know if that's changed at all, but I just remember seeing "please no podcasts" in one of their
okay.
I'm ready to be booked emails. But again, things can change, and we'll reach out, and maybe if they want to join us, then obviously welcome. They're going to be. They just did Mystery recently, so something to think about. Yeah, because it was the Halloween shows, right? People saying Maya Worlds is another one. Maya did the show.
Yeah, Maya's been on the show. Not that she can't go back, but Maya has been on the show.
Yeah, obviously people are welcome back. We've had Steve Macklin on the show 28 times.
Yeah, people have done multiple appearances on the show. We'd love to welcome Maya back. I'll reach out to Maya, see if we can't get her back on the show. Keep throwing suggestions, and got no problem reaching out to these people. I've reached out to somebody. I've not heard back, unfortunately. I don't want to put this person on blast because I don't know, unless you guys want to start like a movement to message this person and get them get him on the show, but hopefully they get back to me. Former NXT superstar.
It's true.
Reached out to.
Zeno I was saying, ask NXT for a Thea Hale interview. I think we did at one point.
Yeah.
When she was doing coffee content. When she was starting the coffee content.
Yeah.
Still want it. Still want it.
We can do an AI interview with Yokozuna.
Well, WWE is very happy to have AI people come out and do the things. So, John Cena AI bullshit that was. Anyway, what else was there anything else from NXT that we need to get on real quick? Because
no. The Kelani Jordan promo. What do you think of the Kelani Jordan promo?
How can I say I don't care without making it sound like I just don't care? I don't. Well, no, like, okay, again, we've discussed this. This is what NXT does. Everyone who they see as a long-term gain for the company has to do a heel turn. We got to do a heel turn. And I couldn't with Kelani. Kalani's whole thing was like, I got tossed out a lot. Like, she wasn't speaking untruths about, like, she wasn't lying about the experiences on camera that she's been getting. Like, from a storyline perspective, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like the delivery was lacking. It's like I'm trying to be a bad guy, and this is the thing where it's like that's where I hope that she figures out what her heel voice sounds like. That is the only thing, because if you can't figure out what that voice sounds like, then it's not going to be authentic and it's not going to work. She's really good, like most people, at being the good guy. I mean, some people have punchable faces, so Ethan Page gets away with it. But like, there are some people who are just born to be a babyface. Sol Ruka's the other one who, if they're going to eventually turn her heel because they got to see what it looks like, then it's going to be tough. And this is another one where Kelani Jordan needs to she needs to figure out what that heel voice is before it works or it doesn't work. So first run, content was fine, delivery was lacking. Now, when it comes to her being the knockout champion, I can't tell you I give a shit about TNA because they haven't given me a reason to give a shit about TNA, and I'm the one who covers it for the damn site. Like, the biggest news that they've had over the last week is this Latin America deal that we just clowned on and spent more time talking about other deals with Tubi than we did with whatever TNA is doing. So this isn't a problem with Kelani. It's a problem with TNA and presentation. So she's not going to be anywhere that I can watch her on TNA, but she's going to do a triple threat match at Gold Rush. It's going to be her, Jordan Grace, and Laying Lee. And again, I'm going to go on my rant for a second. Santino Marella being the serious, unserious person, sitting in his hotel room and God knows where because he's got an appearance somewhere else that he's doing. And he's just like, Jordan Grace. And it's like, nobody knows who that is because you're trying to do your bit and your audio is poor. And you're trying to talk about Laying Lee. And like, no one knows who Laying Lee is because you're not enunciating. And therefore, nobody knows who the fuck you're talking about when you're trying to make a knockouts match for the title. And like, you're trying to add it doesn't work. It's a stupid gimmick, but it gets over with people because like, oh, I love Santino. He's so funny. It's like, okay, great. Enjoy, have fun, whatever. So yeah, the Kelani stuff is what it is. And until TNA comes back, they got open fight nights, and an open fight night is just a bunch of rehash matches that they have from, old tapings that haven't aired yet. Someone in our Discord pulled them up and we're just like, these are the matches that haven't aired yet. And there's only like 4 or 5 of them. Why isn't open fight night being held at Turning Point? Why isn't the show being called Turning Point Open Fight Night? Because you have one night of television to set it up, an entire fucking show on November 13th, 14th, whatever it is, the Friday. And you're doing this thing instead. There's no reason for it. So no, Kalani's character needs to figure out her voice. Kelani as TNA champion means absolutely nothing right now because TNA is nothing right now. There's no reason to care about Kelani Jordan right now as a character.
Why do you hate Santino Marella?
Because he just isn't good at this. He's got one bit, and the bit is the stupid mispronouncing people's names. And he talks about it with Van Vliet. He's like, I did it once, and they said, keep doing it. And now he's got to keep doing it because he's just like every other old-ass wrestler. Well, not just old-ass. Like, it's every wrestler. It's like once you hit something, you got to do it for the rest of your life so that you don't have to take a bump. I get that. I respect that. But eventually, you can change it up. Like, you don't need to be continuing doing this mispronunciation if you're going to be quote unquote the director of authority GM position serious person in TNA. If your character leader or your character GM is unserious, then your entire product is unserious. That doesn't work for me, brother. It's fucked. Pardon my French. Multiple times. I did swear multiple times.
So how do you really feel about Santino moving?
He's fine. Listen, he lives in my neck, not my neck of the woods, but he lives outside of Toronto. So it's like cool. You know, I've been to his gym and watched shows at his gym. But other than that, it's like, it's fine.
All right. Yeah. I like Kelani's promo was, yeah, the delivery was lacking, but maybe unexpected or expectedly so. First time doing like a heel promo like that. I thought her content was good. I was like, yeah, why do you cheer for these guys? These guys suck too. They should be booed as well. I thought the content was good. I think she'll get more comfortable on the mic. I'm not gonna judge her and be like, this whole thing's a failure because of one promo with her first time doing a live promo like this as a heel. I don't think anybody should judge her on that. I think Kelani has shown her work ethic and has shown her improvement in the ring and even as a babyface character to where I don't have a ton of doubts that she won't get better as a heel character. Look at Roxanne Perez. It was a little awkward as a heel at first, and now she's a fantastic heel as a member of Judgment Day. She's got all the little things down, the facial expressions, she's good promo and everything. And obviously her ring work is good as well. I think Kelani will follow a similar path. So I'm not going to, excuse me as I lose my voice, I'm not going to judge her too harshly, or think this whole thing's a flop because of one promo. That she is a actual development story out there. You know, like some of these wrestlers, they got years on the independent scene and everything. She's an actual development story. For her, this is development. And I think she will continue to develop.
Yeah, again, I don't fault her for doing this promo. Again, I think the content was fine. I thought that the delivery was lacking, but again, it's her first week doing it, so there is time to pick it up. Everything that I say is not an indictment on her. It is absolutely an indictment on TNA and the way that they've been completely lacking for the last month.
I like how you bury TNA off of this.
No, well, I'll bury TNA for other things too, but here we are.
I mean, I guess it's TNA's fault for not doing television. And is that your gripe here? Because, like, if anything, you should be happy that, at least the TNA title is getting on TV. Kelani could be like Mike Santana. Just have the title and find an interview with Mike Santana, because that's the only way you're going to hear him speak.
But that's the other thing. You've got Mike Santana, the TNA champion, who beat Trick Williams, and all of a sudden it's like, where's Mike Santana? Mike Santana has to get himself over as champion, who had this big moment, this catharsis of winning the title that has been denied of him for the last 6 to 8 months, really 1 year if you're really paying attention to Mike's time in TNA. And all of a sudden it's like, we're going dark for a month. All your momentum is gone. You can go defend the title somewhere else if you want, and that's about it. It's just Kelani being the TNA Knockouts champion has nothing to do with TNA and everything to do with the fact that she has a TNA title and has a WWE contract. They like her. They're going to use her. Her holding the belt means nothing in the grand scheme of things. So for TNA, yeah, I bury TNA because they have done nothing to show that the belt means anything. The performer means plenty. She's great. I think she has a huge upside. This is a great opportunity for her. I've talked about it on this show. The fact that she is the TNA Knockouts champion shows that they're going to put her in a position to lead a locker room in another company and be the person on top. What does that look like? And they'll get an idea. Instead, you got TNA went dark and we have an NXT person holding a TNA title, so we're going to use her.
Are they trying to make the belt mean something though by putting her on television? Again, it's a better position than Santana, and I love Santana. I'm glad he got the belt and everything, but he's nowhere you don't know he's the champion anymore. It's been a month since he won the title. At least with Kelani, she's on TV. She's got the belt with her. She's turned heel. She's gonna defend the title. I understand it's an NXT show, but she's gonna defend the title on that show. At least the belt is featured with her.
Again, my problem is they have the belt, but they have no one to go after her for it. No one from TNA is on the show.
Liang Li.
Liang Li cutting a promo in a hotel room saying that's not going to work for me, sister, is not a build. Jordynne Grace getting a knockouts title match because she worked for TNA and she's friends with Santino is not good on TNA. If you had Liang Li show up and actually confront this woman last week or this week, it would have been different. But instead, it's, Liang Li wants a title shot. She called you out, so open fight night, but not an open fight night because we already taped that show. Instead, her open fight will be at Gold Rush, the NXT show instead, because we don't have a show to give you.
I think
like Henry's saying, the belt may as well be part of NXT.
Sure, but it's a TNA title right now, and it's on NXT. Yes,
but where's TNA?
Well, this is a TNA problem that they went dark for a few weeks, but I will give them a little bit of credit of the fact that at least they're still trying with the Knockouts title and that Kelani, and I understand WWE has a hand in what is being booked here, but at least with Kelani holding the title, they're getting something out there. There's nothing else getting out there with TNA right now. Again, Santana, nothing. The Hardys showed up and lost the NXT titles after they went dark, after they beat the Dudleys. Who else? Leon Slater shows up for a couple of shots. Like, all right, at least he's... Yeah, but at least he's, again, there, and it's like, oh, yeah, Leon Slater. I'm not saying this is, like, great, by the way, because I don't think TNA should have gone dark. But I will also give them a little bit of credit that at least they're doing something to get some talent out there. Because if they weren't dark, then, or, being dark, if they weren't doing this, they'd have nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But all that they're doing here is putting former WWE talent who are working in TNA on WWE again, or they're bringing in talent that they intend to sign when their TNA deals are up. Yes. And this is, again, something you and I have talked about ad nauseum when they announced this deal. It was the concept that WWE gets a free look and a free opportunity to bring in and use people that they think would be better for their roster. Jordynne Grace, Joe Hendry, Leon Slater now, the list goes on. And then meanwhile, what we've seen is when it started with TNA, it was WWE and NXT, they're going to send some of the greener talent over to NXT, or to TNA rather, so that they could work a style that is close enough to NXT that it's not going to throw them off, but it's also going to be a taped environment, so we know that they can make mistakes and it won't look bad on them in the long term. So that's the way it started, and now it's turned into, now when we want any TNA talent that's not people we want on the show, it's going to be people we used to have on our programming because the IP or the related
that's
whatever,
the only people in TNA. So.
People. But like, again, this is part of the problem, is that you have other people who work for TNA who have not been in the WWE system. Like, you brought in Santana, you brought in Kazarian, you brought in some people, but you brought him in for a one shot to do a singular thing, and then you never spoke to them again. Macklin, again, is still the international champion. You haven't brought him in. You haven't brought in Santana since he won the belt. You got a Gold Rush tournament or show, whatever, for 2 weeks. If he doesn't show up for that, then I got more questions than answers here.
They brought in Leon Slater. He doesn't have any WWE background. They put Leon Slater on the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, because they want it. Because they want to.
They probably want to. They probably want to sign Santana too.
I mean, we're biased, but yes, Santana is someone you should want in your show. But I don't know if I don't know what his situation is. I don't know if he's planning to resign. I don't know what he'd like to do. I can't tell you because
they brought in Moose. Moose doesn't have WWE ties.
No, Moose does have WWE ties because once upon a time they gave him a tryout and they wanted to sign him, but things fell through. You know that.
Okay, but he doesn't have WWE television experience. That's a whole lot different than the other people you have mentioned. No one knows Moose from WWE television.
No, they know him from Ring of Honor. I think Moose was also kind of a Jordan. Who was it? Jordan was doing the interview with Sean and said
Jordan.
Yeah, and he was like, Moose won't shut the fuck up about coming and doing this. I wouldn't be surprised. And listen, if it's true, good on Moose. If Moose was just blowing up phones, being like, get me on the show, get me on the show. Also, Moose is the franchise player of TNA. Like, he signed a 5-year deal in a company that does not have 5-year deals to give out. There was clearly like, we got to get our value out of Moose. So there is like, the Moose thing is weird because yes, he's not known to WWE, but he's also one of those like, oh, we pay him more than anyone else. We should probably do something to show him that we care. And that's it with Moose.
Okay, but you can't now change the narrative out here of like, they don't use anybody who didn't have previous WWE experience. And then I named 5 or 6 people that didn't have previous WWE experience that they have used.
So what do they do with Moose? They had him up against Obafemi in that title match, right?
Yeah,
the X Division and that was so that we can get Obafemi looking even bigger, beating a big dude like Moose.
And he was part of the Not Invasion show.
Yeah, the non-invasion show doesn't count because that was a fever dream.
Okay,
come on, you know it was. You can't tell me that it mattered. It didn't matter.
I don't think anything in wrestling matters.
Oh, that's fair, but I mean, that is fair. Hold on, I gotta look up the showdown results because first of all, the show didn't matter, but also who were on the teams. For the men, it was Santana, Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. It's 2 guys that they'd like to sign. One guy who's been on the company forever, and Moose, who's also been with TNA forever.
But all people that have no from WWE ties. Even Joe Hendry. I know Joe Hendry's practically a WWE guy at this point, but Joe Hendry was not a WWE guy before all of this. And
but this is going back to what we just talked about. It's a free look at people that they wanted to sign. And that's what they were doing. They were cherry picking who they wanted. Some people, yes, I will concede that there are some people like Frankie Kazarian who didn't come in the same way. Kazarian's also been in the business for 20 plus years, and as a result, knows a ton of people and probably got in because they trusted him. And that's why they put the stupid international title on him for that one match, because they didn't want to have them. I don't even know what it was. They wanted the blue belt on TV, but they didn't want Macklin there for whatever reason. I don't know what the story is, but they got Kazarian. Frankie's been around forever, so I see why they take Frankie. Moose, we just went through this. We know why with Moose. On the women's side, we talked about this. It was
their
Kelani
whole women's roster is former WWE talent. So
much of the TNA Knockouts roster is currently former WWE talent.
But the first person was not, and we know what happened there, but they were featuring her. She was being used. It looked like that was probably another deal of, we want to get a look. We might want to sign her. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We knew this was what was going to happen when they did the partnership. We talked about it at the time. It was probably going to happen.
So the crux of the conversation right now is kind of shifted because originally it was Kelani Jordan.
I don't even remember where the crux started.
With Kelani Jordan turning heel, doing the promo, and how the TNA title is there, but there's no TNA to really speak of because they're dark. It's the only title that currently exists, but the company doesn't truly exist right now. So as a result, she's getting matches against people who used to work for the company, who currently work for TNA, or used to work for WWE in the case of Lang Lee. And that is just this big roundabout way of saying the TNA Knockouts title doesn't matter right now. When they come back and when they get into Turning Point and all that stuff, if there's truly a show to be had, then I'm going to reassess this conversation, because clearly they have nothing going until November 13th when they do Live Impact, Turning Point, and then they do the TV tapings and they get back rolling, and maybe we'll even find out where Genesis will be and what date it will be on. Like, TNA is such a weird spot right now, because while I appreciate having a month off of doing a Thursday night show, I don't like losing money and not being able to work on a Thursday night when I would normally get paid a separate rate from what I do for this show. Peel the curtain back. One show I get paid for in lump, and one show I get paid for per appearance. Guess which one is per appearance, folks? It's the one I'm not doing right now. So, like, I'm sure Sean doesn't mind that, but I mind not getting paid. On the other hand, I like I said, I like having the time off, but TNA isn't really making me excited to get back to work next week. They're just doing shit. That's how it's felt. They're just doing shit.
Well, that's been their whole existence outside of like a year.
23 years of just doing shit. That's going to be their 24th anniversary show. Just doing shit.
Here's my point of this whole thing. Look, TNA going dark for 4 weeks after their biggest show of the year is dumb as hell. That is on them. That's dumb as hell. Where I disagree with Joel is him saying the TNA Knockouts title doesn't mean anything when that is the only title that actually means something right now, because it's the only title that has any type of television time and any type of visibility for TNA. You want to say the world title doesn't mean anything? Yeah. You got to listen to a different interview, a different pod. You got to listen to a podcast to hear the world champion speak. The tag team titles, they were losing to Dark State. Stocks up. Listen to a podcast to hear the tag team, one half of the tag team champions speak. The X Division title, all right, Leon appeared on a couple shows. That was good, but there was no X Division title build. There was just to do tag team matches with Leon. Go watch an independent show, and you'll see the same thing with Leon, because he appears on a bunch of indie shows. He was just at Rev Pro this past week. Go watch that show. The international title, Joel is going to speak to Macklin more than you're going to see Steve Macklin featured on television.
That is my opening question, by the way.
At least the Knockouts title is being featured on television. Okay, it's only TV because it's held by an NXT person. So what? It is still on TV. It's been held by an NXT person for about over half the year at this point, because JC had it and now Kelani has it. Okay, it's being held by an NXT person. It doesn't mean they gotta put the title on television. It doesn't mean they gotta use Ying Lee in this spot. They could just do Kelani and Jordan. Even if they did that, at least it is on television. At least it is relevant for in the world of TNA, where literally nothing is relevant in the world of TNA right now. So that's where I disagree with Joel. I agree TNA going dark, bad. Their overall television hasn't been great. There's not a whole lot of good stuff about the product right now. But to say the Knockouts title doesn't matter. And look, if it doesn't matter to you, this stuff though on NXT doesn't matter to you, fine. Personal opinion, sure. But to say it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things in TNA, I disagree with, because it's the only thing that is relevant in the world of TNA right now.
But there's no TNA to speak of, so how can you get behind them?
I'm not behind. I'm not defending TNA.
Big TNA dick rider, Jeremy Lambert.
Sure. I'll do the TNA post show. I don't get paid for any of that stuff.
True. And by the way, I have been offered to do other post shows, so it's not like I'm not being shut out.
You said the Raw post show.
Yeah, I just did the Raw.
Are you doing Dynamite tonight?
No, I was offered to do last Dynamite, but it was also World Series, and I was doing other stuff, so I said no.
Wow.
So it's not like I'm not getting offered to do other post shows, and Sean's been dealing with stuff with his cat, so we've been trying to help out and be as available as we can, so and supportive as well. So, but again, my main beat is TNA, as people know. So it is what it is. Do we count Xia Brookside as former WWE, even though she worked UK?
I mean, if you want. Sure. Okay. Like she doesn't, I don't even think, it's not like Xia. Oh yeah, Xia Lee. Wait, you say Xia Lee, Xia Brookside?
Sorry, I thought I said Brookside, but if I said Lee, then I misspoke. Xia Brookside.
You might have said Brookside, but then I confused myself with Xia
person. They put them in a tag team to screw with everybody.
Even Xia Lee, she's former WWE, but it's not like she was main roster WWE talent who had this giant run with the company. But most of their Knockouts division is former WWE talent. I mean, outside of who? Like,
So I'm just going through it, and I'm like, who didn't work for WWE who was in the Knockouts division? So I'll put Zaya in there, Zaya Brookside, because she worked UK and not main roster or NXT, whatever. Tasha Steeles. Steph
All right.
Lander's still injured. Well, Steph was Porsche Parada, but she's also injured. Mila Grace, who's been brought in from the UK. They haven't really used her, even though they touted her signing. Mila Moore. It's Mila Moore. Another one, newer, but they haven't really done much with her. Maggie
Jody
Lee,
Threat.
who's someone that they should be. Yeah, Maggie Lee is one they should be working with. Absolutely. Killer Kelly, Jody Threat. There's one other that I saw that Jada Stone was another one, and Heather Reckless and Harley Hudson.
I mean, some
and
of
again,
these
women...
are
and Danny Luna's the big one that people have brought up. And Rosemary to a point, because Rosemary she's been around for a long time with TNA.
Rosemary got some time on NXT. It was a while ago. It was the
Wendy Chu stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about Tessa, by the way. Tessa's over in Mexico. It's fine. Don't worry about her. Apparently, she's a huge draw, even though she gets booed anyways.
And some of these women that you just named, like, they're not even on TNA television. You can't expect them to be on NXT television.
Well, I can, damn it. No, I get it.
Like, they're not featured on TNA. Like, some of them just signed and everything. So I wouldn't expect them to be on NXT television.
What was frustrating was that you had Mila Grace, whichever one. So you signed a Mila and a Mila. That's your problem. And Harley Hudson. You put them together, made them a tag team, and then immediately we're just like, well, maybe not yet. Stuff like that is kind of annoying. But Heather and Maggie should be further entrenched in WWE, because I think they're two young stars, both of whom have had WWE extra experience. They're standouts for the young talent coming in. They should be given an opportunity. And Danny Luna too, another one who worked NXT UK, when she was with Subculture, that could have gotten a lot more. And as even said, I wasn't ready at the time, and now I feel like I'm a whole new person, and she is. It's a whole new star. So the opportunities are there. They just need to focus. But again, I'm willing to wait until next Thursday and see if anything is set, because nothing's there yet.
Well, they don't have anything set because they don't have any television. I think, I could be completely wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last time. I think because Kelani is at least featured on NXT television, and Li Ying Li is going to be on Gold Rush, you would hope that's something that they're both on the live show next week, and it leads to something. Maybe it leads to a singles match at Turning Point. And if that's the case, I feel like you got to admit that they actually accomplished something with Kelani holding the Knockouts title and being on NXT television with it.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I like what they're doing with Kelani. I just think that she's stuck in an unenviable position, given that she can't go somewhere else to also work with that title and its contenders. But
sure, that's TNA's fault.
That is TNA's fault. I don't fault Kelani for any of this. She's going to continue to build her character, and that is what I'm looking forward to seeing, is more of her building this heel character that they clearly want to see more of. I didn't think her first outing was that great from a delivery standpoint, but like I keep saying, from a content standpoint, it made sense. But the way she spoke, we'll get there. That's not a big deal. Do a couple skull sessions, not broken skull sessions. Go learn your acting. Do that. You'll be fine. We're almost out of time because I gotta see the kids shortly. But
way too much time on TNA. I can't believe I defended.
I can't believe you did that too, guys. I'm
very passionate about Kelani Jordan.
Yes, you are. We'll wait until the end of the to do the thing. What did we accomplish? We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. AEW Dynamite tonight, live from the Bayou Music Center in Houston, Texas, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on TBS and Max. If you want to do stream a Triller too, because it's cheaper and it's better, but that's just me. The AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament first round, Mercedes Moné and Athena take on the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. I feel bad that the Babes of Wrath might be out in the first round.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go well for them. I hope it goes well for them, but I don't think
Harley Cameron pins Mercedes Moné.
That would rule. I'd be all for that.
I'd like it.
Love Harley Cameron.
Hangman Page, Hook, and Eddie Kingston take on the Ops. That's Mimosa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs. I feel like we just saw that.
No,
I don't think we did.
No.
I think we saw just the tag team version.
No.
But
Hangman
Hook
has not teamed with Eddie and Hook.
No.
Eddie and Hook have been facing random people and LFI, which I guess isn't going to go anywhere. But maybe it'll go somewhere. We saw Joe and Hook last week in the 4-way match.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay. That's why. I'm just thinking of who's been on TV together. That's why. Okay. Yeah. I'm not. I think this match is fine. I think it's good. I'm just like, why do I feel like I've seen this before? I think it's just Hangman and Joe being in the ring together because they're going to be opponents of Full Gear. Who knew? Right?
It's non-title, so I feel like Hangman is going to Eddie or Hangman or somebody on that side is going to win. But I also don't really think that the Ops should lose. I guess they won their trios match after beating Hurt Syndicate. They did defend the titles after their first heel turn. I don't love the Ops losing here because I think you could beat Hook. Because I don't think they're serious about like pushing Hook. Like I think he's kind of there to get beat. I think you can beat Eddie too. As much as I love Eddie, like I think you can beat Eddie as well. I also think there's a world where Joe can pin Hangman and show like, yeah, you got lucky at Wrestle Dream type of thing. I would prefer an Ops victory. It kind of feels like the Ops are going to lose.
Yeah, the only other side of it would be Hook getting his win back by tapping out Shibata or something.
Yeah, as I say, you can't pin Joe. You can't beat Joe. That would be the dumbest outcome of all this.
No, and Hobbs is the power guy. Like you're not going to take him out either. So again, it'd have to be Shibata and Hook. But
you can pin Hobbs if it's Hangman doing it. Like he's the world champion. Yep. Hangman can pin Hobbs or Shibata. It's fine. I wouldn't have Hook pin Hobbs. I don't love Eddie pinning Hobbs, but I mind it a little bit less. If the Ops are going to lose, Shibata's the most likely guy who's going to take the pinfall. But I also think that the Ops should win.
The advantage matches, there are 2 men's matches and 1 women's match. You're going to have Orange Cassidy and Claudio Castagnoli and Darby Allin and Daniel Garcia. And then on the women's side, Megan Bayne and Queen Amanada. This was announced yesterday by Tony Khan on his live tweet video thing. So it's a series of advantage matches. Whoever gets 2 out of 3 gets the advantage for their respective war games.
Yeah. So you know that they're gonna do the third match. Although I think it'd be great if they didn't do the third match, like just why do you need to do it? I know why. They're going to do it. But I also think it would be great if they just decided, we will someone will go 2-0 here. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Claudio beats Cassidy and Darby beats Garcia and Megan beats Amanada. And then there's the 2 women's matches on Collision and then the 3rd men's match on Collision as well.
There you go. No, I'm in agreement there. I think that's where you're going to see it and what you're going to get. And the only thing we didn't cover was from Fightful Select. This is just a fun piece that dropped last night. Bro. No, sorry, that's DDP. Bro. Would you like to come and work for JCW, bro? Drew McIntyre was asked by Vince Russo in a tweet if he'd like to come and work for Juggalo Championship Wrestling. From Fightful Select, Russo, looking for any publicity for JCW possible, publicly invited Drew McIntyre to perform for the company whenever his WWE deal is up. Unfortunately for him, Drew McIntyre re-signed with WWE in the spring of 2024. The Rock sent a public congratulations to Drew, whose deal came down to the wire. He even got a big sword out of the deal. Fightful Select has gained more specifics around Drew's deal outside of it being into the millions of dollars per year. We're also told that there were about 2.5 years left on it that would carry Drew into 2028. We can't confirm it specifically, but it was hinted to us that it was a 4-year contract that would carry him at least through 2028's WrestleMania. In addition, Drew McIntyre actually had said that he wanted to work Juggalo Championship Wrestling in his indie days. It just never ended up happening. Specifically, he had heard of the company's good reputation and how they treat talent. To that last point, I will say that I have heard from multiple talent who have worked JCW that they absolutely enjoy the experience. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they are doing that. Our own Kat Creed from Montreal, who's been on the show a few times, she did Juggalo Championship Wrestling, spoke glowingly about the experience as well. So there are plenty of wrestlers who have had a good time. But Drew McIntyre, not headed JCW anytime soon.
Russo is going to give Drew McIntyre a storyline where he like severs his penis with the sword. And that'll be the big hook there.
Please no.
That's all I got.
So that's all I got. I got to go see my family. Anything to put over before we get out of here? We got to do the things, don't we?
Joel, what did we accomplish today?
When the chips are down and I'm not in a big feeling of loving TNA, Jeremy Lambert will defend them vociferously for us. Also, Doc Gallows is a great interview. Check that out.
I think what we accomplished is that, unbeknownst to me, I'm a big TNA Knockouts division and Kelani Jordan supporter. That's unfortunate. And I did not get angry over Thea Hale being paired with Joe Hendry. I have simply accepted it.
Step 2. Might be a
Is
further
it step
step.
2? I don't really know.
Someone else can tell us in the comments. We're back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, SP3 and Jeremy. They'll talk about God knows what. Maybe Dynamite, unless Dynamite ends in a DQ finish. And then SP3 will talk about it. Well, something can happen. Weird things have happened.
I think we're doing TikTok games tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about Dynamite, C-Suite, Evolve results. We'll have that. And potentially the Oklahoma City Thunder still being undefeated. As of now, they are, but they play again tonight. So hopefully they will still remain undefeated at 0-0.
There you go. Folks, go enjoy the rest of your day. Do whatever you need to do to get by. Touch some grass, get in the rain, whatever you need to do. I don't care. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll have plenty to say, Jeremy and SP3. For now, leave a thumbs up on the way out, ladies and gentlemen. Friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.